Hi, this video is from interview.com. Interview.com is a job portal. In this video, I'm going to talk about required annotation in Spring Framework. What does that required annotation means? The required annotation applies to bean property setter methods. Example, bank customer. So bank customer has two properties, bank customer name and customer age. And in the setter methods of these two properties, I have marked at required annotation. This required annotation comes from Spring Framework. So in the setter methods, I have placed required annotation. That means whenever Spring container creates this object, these two attributes must be set to some value. It should not be null. Okay, that means it is mandatory. These two attributes are mandatory. Okay, these two methods should be called. So that's what this required annotation means. Let's see the XML file. In the XML file, for demo purpose, the second property I have commented. So for bank customer class, only one property will be set, that is bank customer name. Customer age will not be there. So Spring container will throw an exception, an error, bean initialization exception. And just one more point I want to remind you. So you have to include this required annotation bean post processor class in the Spring configuration file, otherwise it will not work. So now I am expecting an exception here because only one property is set, the customer age is not set. So let's run this and check how exactly it works. So I'm going to get an exception now because one of the property is not set. I've started the debugging. If you see here, we are getting property customer age is required for bean bank customer, bean initialization exception. So that's what, if I uncomment this property, and if you see this bank customer, we have two setter methods and we have marked it as required. That's why we are getting this error. So this is mandatory, this field is mandatory, and from the Spring configuration file it has to set some value. So let's run this again. We should not get any error now. It should run properly. I've started the debugging now. Let's see how it runs. So it will load the Spring configuration file. It will try to get the bank customer from the Spring container and it will print the values. Okay, so there is no error at all, there is no exception at all because we enabled this tag. That means both the required properties are set in the bank customer object. Hope this video is useful. Thank you and all the best.